is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Thanks for joining us here at 11 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. It has been a wet and gloomy Saturday, so let's get right over to Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts with what you can expect overnight and into the morning.
And Nicole, the good news here is that while those rain chances are pretty high here in the overnight hours, they drop off dramatically going into our Sunday morning. So much of our Sunday, I do think, is going to be dry. It's been a little soggy from time to time out there throughout our Saturday, and you can still see some pretty steady rain here from back around Petersburg through Lafayette, even around Kokomo into Marion and Hartford City, but it dries out as we work our way to the south until you get just southwest of Martinsville. More pockets of some moderate rain. That's lifting through the Bloomington area. Not expecting much in the way of any thunderstorm activity, but we'll continue with off and on rain showers right on into the early morning hours of Sunday. We've got temperatures out there in the 60s to around 70 degrees, and we'll drop down to around 64 tonight as those showers start to wind down. We'll take you hour by hour through your Sunday in a few minutes.
Kyle, thank you. Indianapolis has joined the growing list of cities with major streets that carry the words of Black Lives Matter. It's a sign of solidarity we've seen across the country since the death of George Floyd. RTV6's Stephanie Wade spoke with artists and leaders as they took to Indiana Avenue today.
Visual art has a way of bringing people together, and so you have to kind of meet people where they are.
I want you to know my legacy. People understand this moment. People understand that this is a time for creatives to lead.
In the nation's fight to end racial injustice,
We feel proud to be a part of as artists in the community to make sure that we're doing our part as well to help accelerate the movement and make sure that this moment doesn't pass us.
Black local artists are painting the words Black Lives Matter along the historic stretch of Indiana Avenue, a once prominent area for Black-owned businesses in the city's early days.
Indiana Avenue used to be a very rich and bustling place for Black creators. My great uncle was one of the great jazz musicians who played on Indiana Avenue, and there's a lot of history here in this area.
Near the Madam Walker Legacy Center and the headquarters of the Indianapolis Urban League, it isn't just those three words artists hope people recognize.
Crossroads of different intersections that people were gunned down by police violence here in Indianapolis. And so I'm honoring them. I'm going to write their names down.
But also the faces of people killed by police right here in Indianapolis. People like Christopher Goodloe, Drayshawn Reed, Mikhail Rose, and Eleanor Northington.
George Floyd is a household name, Sandra Bland, things like that. We have people right here in our community, people that we may have walked by at the grocery store, at church, or at school. And I want us to know everyone's name.
Each artist having their own creative freedom to paint what they want people to feel.
If you can just stop and reflect and think about what am I doing to move things forward, what am I doing for forward motion and to progress the movement.
Advocates say this mural will serve as a continual reminder for the need for growth in recognizing Black Lives Matter. Reporting downtown, I'm Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Stephanie, thank you. The plan to paint the mural was approved by the City County Council last month. And tonight, a local pastor is pushing for another mural to be painted downtown. He wants the City County Council to grant permission to paint a mural that reads, "God says all lives matter," over the St. Clair Bridge near the canal where 24-year-old Jessica Doty Whitaker was killed last month.
What we have in Indianapolis is a complete lack of understanding that this murder was not just a typical murder of another individual walking on the canal. This was an assassination because she said all lives matter. The assassin waited for them to go past the bridge and where he started opening fire that hit her in the head and killed her. We want the permission of the City County Council, just as they gave the permission here.
The pastor says the suspect repeatedly said Black Lives Matter to Doty Whitaker before the shooting. And just yesterday, IMPD released this new surveillance video in this case. They need the public's help identifying or locating the people in this video. Doty Whitaker was shot and killed at 729 Canal Court on July 5th at 3:30 a.m. Call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS with any information. Authorities are looking for a Greene County man following a shooting in Sullivan County. Indiana State Police say 33-year-old Dustin L. Turley of Jasonville allegedly shot 33-year-old Trenton Keller of Jasonville multiple times. This happened around 10 Friday night. Authorities believe the two men had a verbal altercation prior to the shooting. After the shooting, state police say Turley ran and escaped into the woods. He is wanted for attempted murder and is still actively on the run. Keller was transported to Terre Haute Regional Hospital and later airlifted to a hospital in Indianapolis for treatment. Anyone with information should contact the Indiana State Police Putnamville Post at 1-800-225-8576. The downtown Indianapolis City Market is looking for a new leader. The market announced current director Stevie Stays will leave the position she's held since 2011. We told you earlier this month that business owners at City Market have been concerned about trash, large crowds, and open drug use in the area. IMPD leaders increased patrols in the area, but also recommended increased lighting and additional security. Those concerns were brought up during a meeting Friday afternoon. Business owners also voiced concerns about making it through the pandemic because of a decrease in visitors. A statement from the City Market says Stays is stepping down to pursue other opportunities and spend time with her family. The statement says she tackled issues like food access and sustainability and brought the City Market up to 100% occupancy. New information tonight, a football player at New Palestine High School has tested positive for COVID-19. The team started optional summer practices on July 6th in accordance with the IHSAA's protocol. We received this statement from the school tonight saying in part, quote, our football players and families were notified of the positive case on Friday. The team was scheduled to hold its final optional summer practice on Friday afternoon. This practice was canceled merely as a precaution. The school also says those who tested positive and those who were in close contact with anyone who tested positive have been quarantined. School is still scheduled to start on Monday. A large group of students in Hancock County will not be returning to class on Monday after a Greenfield Central student tested positive for COVID-19. The student attended at least 4 classes on the first day of school Thursday at Greenfield Central Junior High School. The superintendent says the student had a pending test before arriving to school that day, and leaders were notified around 2 p.m. The student was isolated and sent home, but now every student that was within 6 feet of that student has to quarantine for at least 2 weeks.
It's just very inconvenient, I understand, for those families they've told us they want to be on site. We're telling you now you have to be quarantined. Now, certainly we're working with those families. We are a one-to-one district, so those students who are quarantined, the education can continue. It'll just be in that virtual format for the next 2 weeks.
One-to-one means students have devices to start e-learning at home. The superintendent says only 15% of families chose e-learning this school year. We talked to one mom with 2 kids in the district about why her kids wanted to return back to school.
You know, they've been out of school for so long now. I think they were afraid of how hard it would be to sit on a computer at home for 6 hours. That's tough on a kid. You don't have a teacher there to help you when you need it. Just the interaction, the normalcy of everyday life, of getting up and going to school, and just that normal routine.
Before sending your kids to school, the superintendent wants parents to self-monitor their children. If they have COVID-19 symptoms, a fever of 99.5 or higher, or even a cold, do not send them back to school. The FDA is authorizing 2 new forms of coronavirus tests. Like some previous tests, they look for antibodies that indicate a person has been infected at some point. But they go a step further and try to measure the quantity of those antibodies. Researchers want to use that data to study potential immunity in people who have had COVID-19. But they stress patients with the coronavirus antibodies should not assume that they cannot get COVID-19 again. As the green flag prepares to wave, downtown Indy is honoring the greatest spectacle in racing. Tonight, the sights and sounds of the Motor Speedway were brought to life with a new light show on the IPL building and Circle Tower on Monument Circle. The special 3-minute presentation showcases famous and historic moments in Indy 500 history. It was done in collaboration with the Arts Council of Indianapolis. The 104th running of the Indy 500 will be August 23rd. Evacuations are underway in California as the Apple fire rages. Straight ahead, a look at the damage. And Florida is bracing for a hurricane as they continue to deal with a rising death toll from COVID-19. After the break, the new challenges the state is facing as it tries to protect its residents. Kyle.
And we are getting a break from the tropical feel here in central Indiana as we also have some very cool temperatures over the next several days. We'll talk about the wet weather that comes along with it. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
A wildfire is forcing evacuations in a county about 50 miles east of Los Angeles. Fire officials say the Apple fire has burned more than 4,100 acres and is out of control. So far, the fire has destroyed at least one home and 2 structures. An investigation is underway that will determine what caused the blaze. Several residents say they saw someone setting fires on Friday along a road called Apple Tree Lane. About 375 firefighters are currently battling the blaze. The National Weather Service warned that the Southwest would face hot and dry conditions with low humidity levels and gusty winds until late Sunday. A storm moved through the Caribbean with hurricane-force winds, killing at least 3 people, including a 5-year-old boy in the Dominican Republic. It was downgraded to a tropical storm earlier this afternoon, but officials warn it could strengthen again as it heads towards Florida, a state already being hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. Here's ABC's Christine Sloan with the details.
After battering the Caribbean with 80-mile-per-hour winds and heavy rains, Isaias is now making its way towards Florida, one of the major hotspots of the U.S. pandemic. The state marking another day with more than 9,000 new confirmed cases.
This is the first time that this county has been under 2 local states of emergencies that overlap at the same time.
A state of emergency declared in at least 16 counties along Florida's East Coast. Shelter kits prepared for 10,000 residents. COVID-19 testing sites shut down. Governor Ron DeSantis urging people to hunker down at home.
Floridians should be executing their plans, particularly if you're on the east coast of Florida. You should have 7 days of food, water, and medicine.
North Carolina declaring a state of emergency and ordering coastal evacuations, though most shelters are closed due to the pandemic.
Try to stay with family, friends, or a hotel to minimize contact with others.
For the rest of the country, 35 states and Puerto Rico now seeing an increase in the number of cases of COVID-19. The Centers for Disease Control predicting nearly 30,000 more Americans could be killed by the virus in the next 3 weeks. California becoming the first state with 500,000 confirmed cases, the same day it recorded its highest death toll, 219, including a teenager with underlying health conditions.
I'm speechless when it comes to anything that I could say to the family.
Contact tracers in Illinois linking multiple cases to a private high school prom that nearly 300 people attended.
It was not a good idea getting that many people together, not observing social distancing.
And in New Jersey, 11 new deaths and nearly 400 new cases reported on Saturday.
The alarms are going off. The only way to silence these alarms and get back to the process of moving forward is for everyone to take them seriously.
The governor threatening to pause or reverse the state's reopening plans. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Christine, thank you. And this is a live look right now at NASA monitoring the SpaceX return flight. NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley undocked from the International Space Station earlier this evening. They are the first astronauts to travel into orbit aboard a commercially developed spacecraft. They've been on board the International Space Station for 2 months after launching in the SpaceX Crew Dragon from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It was the first crewed mission to take off from U.S. soil in nearly a decade.
For the most part, we've had pretty good luck with Endeavour as far as on-orbit testing. It's performed just like it did for launch and rendezvous. So we expect nothing different for the splashdown.
Now, landing is set for Sunday afternoon off the coast of Pensacola, but the storm headed for Florida, Kyle, could change that.
Yeah, and it looks like things, as you mentioned, are going to be a little closer to that splashdown around Pensacola in the Gulf of Mexico and the hurricane moving up the Atlantic side of Florida. So they should be able to get decent enough weather there. Off the coast of Florida along the Gulf Coast there. Temperature right now 70 degrees in Indianapolis. We've got some light rain showers in the area, upper 60s in Kokomo and Bloomington. And as we check out things as far as the rainfall, we've only picked up 0.05 of an inch of rain in Indianapolis, but some locations have picked up over 1 or 2 inches of rain, especially south of I-70 here. And you can see more of that rain is moving in around Bloomington right now. And we've got some more of it pretty steady around Lafayette, some scattered showers in the Kokomo area. We'll continue with some scattered showers into the overnight, but by tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon, notice things kind of dry out a little bit. We may even work in a little bit of sunshine here, but that will be kind of what we call self-destruct sunshine. That pops out and then that will develop a few of these showers as we go into the afternoon. Again, not really expecting much in the way of coverage, and I don't think we'll hear any rumbles of thunder tomorrow. Temperatures will be held back once again because of the clouds, and those morning showers were pretty steady right through the first half of the day, barely getting into the 70s here at 11 a.m. And eventually we'll get upper 70s to around 80, but there's that afternoon chance for a few more of those rain showers. We should be around 84 degrees. We'll make it to 79 in Indianapolis, 80 in Bloomington, and 75 degrees in Muncie. More a sign of things to come as we've got more rain chances in the forecast. They ramp back up here for us on Monday at 70%. We'll continue with a few showers into our Tuesday, but let's look a little closer at Monday's forecast here. This is mid-morning, so should be a dry start to our Monday, but as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see more of those showers and thunderstorms developing. Some of those could have some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall with them as well. I think that'll be the main threat here as we go throughout our Monday, and then tomorrow or Monday night, things should quiet down and again taper off a little bit as we go a little deeper into the week. But between now and Monday night, we are looking at most of the models coming in about 1/2 to 1 inch of rainfall here across central Indiana. 7-day planning forecast, there are those rain chances through Tuesday, but check out those temperatures. Nothing summer or August like there. We are in the 70s for highs through Thursday, even the 50s to start off Wednesday and Thursday morning. It does get a little more summery here as we go into next weekend. We're back in the middle 80s.
Kyle, thank you. And we are following breaking news tonight on the city's east side. Let's take a live look right now at East Washington Street near Shadeland Avenue. IMPD is investigating a serious crash. You can see right here from this live picture. We do know that first responders were called out around 10:40 p.m. We are working to find out how many people were injured in this crash. We will continue to monitor this scene. We do have a photographer on scene right now and bring you the very latest details in the RTV6 News app. Trader Joe's now says it won't get rid of products branding some people deem racist. More than 5,000 petitioners want Trader Joe's to do away with branding like Trader Jose, Trader Ming's, and San Joe. About a week ago, it sounded like that was happening. A spokeswoman said the packaging was missing the mark and it implied it wouldn't be around much longer. Then customers who liked the labels and some conservative pundits started voicing support for them. Now Trader Joe's says it doesn't think the names are racist and it won't change them. Your Mondays are about to get a whole lot brighter. Dunkin' Donuts is bringing back its popular free coffee Mondays. Starting this Monday, if you're a Dunkin' Perks member, you can get a medium coffee, hot or iced, for free. You just have to buy any food item to get the deal. If you're not a member, you can sign up with the app. And to make things even sweeter, the restaurant chain is also reviving free Donut Fridays. Members get a free classic donut with any drink purchase. The deals run through the week of August 17th. The Pacers played their first game of the summer bubble tonight, and it is a great start to their Orlando schedule. Our Brad Brown will have the highlights coming up next. The Pacers' last action of the regular season was way back on March 10th, and the wait to play a real game again ended tonight, and the team got a huge performance from one player to lead the way. Brad Brown has a look at their Orlando opener.
The drama of will he or won't he with Victor Oladipo was answered about 90 minutes before tip-off. Oladipo in the starting lineup for Saturday's first game of the restart, and he helped the Pacers get off to a strong start. Oladipo finished the night with 15 points, a 24-14 run to open the game. The Pacers held a 6-point lead after the first quarter. The biggest storyline of the night came from Pacers guard T.J. Warren. He was hitting from all over the floor in the opening half. 29 points in the first 24 minutes. The Pacers led 61-55 at halftime. But in the fourth quarter, the Pacers fell behind by 10, but they would come all the way back. Aaron Holiday with a basket and the foul. That would ultimately give the Pacers the lead for good. Philadelphia got within 2, but Warren continued shooting the lights out. His 7th three-pointer of the night put the Pacers up by 5. He would hit a couple more before it was all done. A career-best 53 points, 9 triples, 20 of 29 shooting from the field. A dynamic performance to give the Pacers a key 127-121 win over the 76ers.
It was a good overall effort from the team. They did a great job finding me in my spots, and me just doing what I do best, just putting the ball in the hole. Just wanted to lead the team offensively and get some stops defensively. So all-around team effort for sure.
You know, if you know T.J. Warren, you know he's a bucket, so it's not surprising me. We just kept him out here, to be honest, and he was on fire. He kept making shots, so we just kept trying to go to him. I kept trying to find him whenever I could. So he did a good job in there for sure.
You know, we needed our guards to come down and help. We lost the boards, but we just hung in there, continued to work. We had really good ball movement and, forced them to have to play some defense. And TJ was, just unbelievable tonight.
For me, I just wanted to just be aggressive, do what I do best. My teammates did a great job of finding me, and me just staying aggressive and staying locked in and engaged was really key for us. And very, very fortunate to get the win tonight.
The win clinches the season series for the Pacers against Philadelphia. That could be key when it comes time to seed the playoffs. The Pacers firmly in the number 5 spot in the East for now, 1 game ahead of Philly. Indiana's next game will be Monday afternoon when they face the Washington Wizards. Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
All right, Brad, thank you. Well, Coke is coming out with 2 new drinks. Up next, details on the new beverages and when you can try them. Coca-Cola is mixing it up, debuting a new Coke with coffee next year. It will combine regular Coke with Brazilian coffee. 3 flavors will be available: dark blend, vanilla, and caramel. The drinks will have double the caffeine of regular Coke. Coke has launched a product with coffee before. That was 14 years ago, and it was called Coca-Cola Black, but it was discontinued 2 years later. The announcement comes just days after the company announced it would be launching a new hard seltzer under its Topo Chico brand that will be out later this year. Did I say that right, Kyle?
There's a whole lot going on in that story. They're changing things up. I'm in the minority. I don't like coffee. So
I don't either.
Hey.
I'm a Monster girl.
We just learned that.
We have something in common.
Well, so probably that's not the drink for us. 7-day forecast. I'm a fan of this because it has been so hot and humid around here the last week or 2. Now we're going to get a break from that, but it does come with some scattered showers and a few thunderstorms. Again, a lot of dry time tomorrow, but a 30% chance of some showers, more widespread rain and storms as we get into Monday afternoon, and then we'll see a few more of those showers and storms into Tuesday. Drier for the second half of the week, and there's some sunshine. Temperatures that are going to be in the middle to upper 70s for highs and lows in the 50s a couple of mornings. So the AC, the utility bill, that's going to get a much needed break here as well. And as we look toward the end of the week and next weekend, things will feel a little more August-like, Nicole, as we get back into the 80s.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow at 6. Have a great night.